All right. Hey, everyone. It's Ty back again with Indiana Jones Radio, and as always, I'm here with.
Devin Hurd, Master of Fear.
Before we start this episode, we have a few announcements. I just uploaded a video. I'm at 317 subscribers. If I need 103 more, if my math is correct, and so I can get 420. And as a little gimmick for you guys, and yes, I'll admit it, it's a gimmick, but it's something fun for you guys, because you guys enjoy Q&A, so that's what we're doing. I'm doing the 420 Q&A. And also, we are probably going to be getting a microphone next week. I was hoping to get it this weekend for you guys, but timing just didn't work out. But hopefully next week we can actually get a Bluetooth microphone so you guys can hear Devin.
Better.
Yes, and so, but please, if you guys can't hear Devin, I advise you just to turn up your volume a little bit. It's not going to hurt you. Too bad. And I understand that Devin had a few announcements too.
Well, I've finally reached 103 subs, so I'm going to be doing a Q&A as well, because that's something I've been thinking about doing, a Q&A. If any of you want to ask me questions.
Yeah, do you have a limit, like, on how many questions? Like, I know, like, some people say 10 questions, 5 questions.
I will answer at least 20 questions.
Alright, there you go. Make it a long video.
Yeah.
Alright, I also wanted to correct myself a little bit. I always get these two actresses confused. Last week, there was one actress, her name's Robin Tunney. I always get her confused with the actress in the Indiana Jones' First Girlfriend. It's Robin Lively. And yes, she is related to Blake Lively. It is her older sister, so I always get them confused. I may be a self-described film historian, but even self-described film historians make mistakes. So I'm wanting to make mistakes, one mistake for you guys. Luckily, none of you guys caught it and left in the comments, but I felt the need to say it for you guys. So, but yes, we are going to start reviewing the first part of what was. I can never remember the name of this one. It's like Love So Sweet, Sweet, Sweet Song or something like that. I'm sorry, folks. I can never quite, remember the name to this episode, but it's something... It's another lovey-dovey Indiana Jones episode, but this one is done a lot better than Indiana Jones Falls in Love with Princess Sophie. At least...
Yeah, they did do it a lot better in this episode.
Yeah.
We're talking about the first part, right?
Right.
Okay, so I don't want to get into spoilers just yet for the episode.
Yes.
But the first part when the girlfriend is at the first part, I felt like they didn't really have that strong of a connection, and the one guy says it.
Indiana Jones's friend Remy kind of even says it. Oh yes, and by the way, if you hear Devin eating, what are you eating again?
Cheez-Its. Original.
Yeah, too bad if Devin was having those toasted Cheez-Its, I would be so jealous of him right now.
I have some toasted Cheez-Its in my kitchen, but I didn't want to eat them.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I really like this episode because, we all have that first girl who we think, oh my gosh, I'm in love with her. And then all of a sudden, you realize later on that it's not love. I mean, it's
a crush.
Yeah, and I would even say it's kind of like that at that weird stage for, it's love, it's a crush, but it's not exactly, it's at that kind of weird, in-between stage where... Because I felt they did kind of have somewhat of a connection, but, not, marrying level, love. if that makes any sense.
It wasn't permanent love.
Yeah. And Remy, his best, his friend in this, even kind of tells him that it wasn't love. And again, I really love this character of Remy. I mean, I'm sure, you kind of
paying more attention to him in this episode. I feel like him and Indiana Jones have a better they're like, I could believe them as like two buddies going out together, and like now I know when I watch the movies I'm not gonna see him, and I'm gonna kind of be like, I miss him.
Yeah, I wish that, obviously we talked about how the actor can't come back, but I really would love to see this character come back because, I really do look at him as Indiana Jones's Watson, it's his partner, and I'm really kind of trying to find an actor who could play him. But
well, what I was thinking when I was watching the episode is I do want to bring him back, but like if they can't find a new actor for him, you could have Indiana Jones reference him.
Yeah, like my friend Remy and I, or something like that. But yes, I really, enjoyed this character. I can't praise this actor enough. I mean, and but yes, Indiana Jones kind of has. It's above puppy love. It's above of crush. I don't even know what you really call that. Where I guess not even. It's not even like a casual date because I think Indiana Jones liked her, but she didn't really like Indy. So, yeah. That was that whole thing, and then so there's not really much to talk about with spoilers as far as this one. It just kind of was like, yeah, this is not really, this is just kind of a meh episode, but it's good. But it's good. It's still above meh, but it's good. I felt like. So.
Yeah, it's not that one episode.
Yes, yes. But anyway, now we'll get to the second part.
Actually, wait there. I kind of forgot about this. The part where they get locked up and stuff, like when the soldiers come.
Oh yeah.
Not much to say there, but I was just like people who really are just haven't watched the series yet, but are just watching us. They do get locked up in the. Like, they don't really get locked up. There's, like, this revolution thing.
Oh, yes. Well, this is the beginning. Yes, people. What the main gist of the story is about, Indiana Jones is in Ireland, and, Ireland at this time, was going through the socialist, the socialist revolution and everything, and that he meets a playwright who's a very famous Irish playwright later on.
And he gets mad because the guy said his story was meh.
Yeah, well, and I think a lot of writers can definitely relate to that, because I
can definitely relate to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're gonna, anytime you write a story, and you get it, you try to have people read it, they're always gonna say, "Oh, this is meh, this is not good," or people will insult your writing, which, one great thing about a writer is, you have to learn to take criticism. One of the things that the best advice I can give you if you want to be a writer is just remember, opinions are like a-holes. Everybody has one. So, yes, don't take criticism personally when it comes to your writing. If you think it's a good story, then it's a good story. But listen to people who give you constructive criticisms as not just people who sit there and say it sucks, and if they can't give you
if I ever release like a thing with my Spider-Man series, like a script, like me telling the story, and I would want constructive criticism because I want to know if it's good or not, if it's worthy of the character of Spider-Man.
Right. I mean, it's just like with some, I mean, obviously I write a lot of fan scripts. I have a lot of original stories, but I think that people are more interested right now, in hearing, like, your fan ideas, and like obviously I have a lot of ideas for Indiana Jones, and you know, like
I've had one original idea. It was called. I did it back when I was younger. I might turn it into actually something. It was called Heroes of Doom. It was pretty weird. It was about like, okay, so you know the ancient like knights and stuff.
yeah,
It was kind of like that, except it took place in the future. It's pretty weird.
interesting.
Like they had these sword things and all that, and it's pretty weird. I think I still have the drawings that I made and the script I wrote for it.
Interesting. But yes, I really liked this episode, and Indiana Jones is this girl in the first part of the episode. I'd say she was average looking. She's not exactly like some of Indy's other girls, but she's average looking. I don't know how Devin feels about her though. So.
No, I didn't really have an attraction.
Yeah. Now, getting to the next part of the episode. This girl is Elizabeth Hurley, and
Is this the spy lady? Because that's what I was wondering the whole time.
No.
This ain't the spy lady?
No. She's an older woman. But this is Elizabeth Hurley, and if we know who Elizabeth Hurley is, oh my gosh, what a woman. I mean, I thought she was very interesting. She did change her accent, which I was a little disappointed by because... but it proves what a great actress Elizabeth Hurley is. Elizabeth Hurley has a very, very thick British accent usually, but here she actually pulls off a pretty good accent here. Different type of accent for her, and I kind of really enjoyed that. Now, one of the things about this lady, she's a conductor on an old bus, but she's also she's now, I'm glad that this was made in the 90s because she fights for women's rights. And you're now in modern storytelling, you're going to think, oh, great, they're going to push some female agenda and everything.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly.
But I'm sure you thought that first, like, oh, come on. Female.
Honestly, something. I don't like all this modern politics stuff that they're doing. Like, you can put politics in your story, just make it kind of subtle. Don't, like, throw it in the face. And honestly, if they would have done that in this episode, I would have rated this the worst episode.
Yes, exactly. But, they made you understand her as a character on why she...
Yes, and this was back then, back when, like, all that stuff was, actually, like, viable. Like, women didn't get to vote. Women didn't get to do all this stuff.
Well, think about it. I don't know how women are going to celebrate it, or if they even will celebrate it, or even think to celebrate it, but women have only been able to vote for 100 years. Women were only allowed to vote in 2000. 2020, this year will be the 100th anniversary of women being able to vote. And, while I think that maybe women should celebrate that, because it was a triumph for them. But maybe they wouldn't now because they don't want to look back at that part of history. But,
I believe some women would celebrate it and some women would ignore it and be like, oh, we're still oppressed or something, because that's how people are now.
Exactly, but
a bunch of whiners.
You know what? I might even make a video for that. I'll look up the day on when women were allowed to vote, and I might just make a video about that, saying happy 100th anniversary voting women or something like that. I don't know what I'll title that one, but yes, you find out why she is fighting for women's rights because her mother did it, and her mother was tortured because of it, horribly, to the point where she was in a wheelchair and force-fed by a tube. And this is an ABC TV show, and guess who was producing ABC at this time, folks? Bob Iger, who was formerly of Walt Disney. So that's pretty interesting. So, yes, you find out that why she believes in fighting for women, and you know what? While I'm gonna get a little personal here. I mean, I'm libertarian, and because I believe in both conservative and democratic views, and I would say, you could say independent, but I'm like, I believe in a lot of the philosophy of the Libertarian Party. So, because in the end, it's what the liberals used to be. And so that's mainly what I agree with. But I also do believe in fighting for rights that you agree with for America, because America, while it is still the greatest country in the world, it's not perfect. We really never were that perfect, but we fought for our American rights, and sadly we don't do that anymore. And that I respected this woman a lot. I mean, I'd probably fall in love with her too in 1918. I'd probably fall in love with her even now. Yes. I mean, good on you for fighting for rights that you believe in. And
well, okay, so you kind of did your politics. My whole thing on politics is I don't give two craps about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it in movies. I don't want to see it in most things. That is my thing. I don't want to see all this shit put in my stuff. Like they're doing Star Wars and Marvel. Just keep it under there.
No, I don't think it should be in movies because
movies are for entertainment, not for pushing what you think is wrong or right.
Yes, but if you make your character, if you're gonna push a politic agenda, make like
and do it correctly. Don't make the character like unstoppable and have no flaws.
Exactly. Well, but even explain it like this character, because like at first you're thinking, oh great, she's gonna be a, a Captain Marvel or a, Rey.
From Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Or a Mary Sue Skywalker.
Yeah, or Mary Sue Palpatine. You're just thinking, oh great, but then you understand why she is that way, and yeah, if that happened to any of my family, you're right that I'm gonna be like that towards some, a lot of, people. I'm gonna be fighting for rights like that, and
then we get the return. My favorite part was the return of like his tutor.
Yes, Indiana Jones's tutor comes back, and she gets to meet her, and Indiana Jones this was really his first love, and we don't know if Indiana Jones, we do know that he loses his V card to this story to this girl, so it's kind of interesting to know that fact that.
And we know what they're gonna do with her character, because like he obviously ain't gonna stay with her all the way, because movies.
Well,
it's that when I watch the movies, like after watching the series, watching the movies will be new to me because it's been so long since I've seen them because of damn storage unit.
Yeah, the actor who played George Hall, he later on meets Vicky. That's the character's name, folks. Later on, when he was 93 years old, he met her again. So, and we will.
Sorry if I don't say the characters' names. I'm not good with remembering names. Sometimes I can't even remember my family's names. I'm really bad with it.
Yeah,
the only name that has stayed in my mind that I know for sure is. Well, I know most of my family's names. Your name is. I'm trying to remember your name. Your name is Ty, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, so I'm trying to. I'm bad with remembering names. So that's one part. Like, I can remember stuff from hundreds of movies, like movies I haven't seen in a long time. But, like, when it comes to names, my brain is like, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Ty is short for Tyler, so, but, yeah, but yes, I really, this was definitely a very good episode. I
would say this was not a great episode for me. for me, it was a fine episode. I liked the one we reviewed last better.
Yeah, you just want to get to the war, don't you?
I like this is kind of what this episode was building up to, was the war part, and I'm like, please just get past this episode so we can finally get to it, because you said it's the best interpretation of World War I you've seen.
Yeah, and yes, I mean, because later on it captures World War I, what I imagine World War I would be like, because there's not a lot of good World War I movies. I mean, there's Sergeant York, it's good, but it's just not enough World War I action in it. There's All Quiet on the Western Front, which, I don't know. I mean, that movie it's good, but it's not exactly like...
Yeah, there are movies about World War I, but I feel like everyone focuses on World War II.
Yeah, and I mean, so this is it. I mean, and it, yeah. So, but it's building up to that, and I know that Miss Seymour was not even for Indiana Jones going to World War I.
Yeah, she was telling him the message, like write a letter to his father and everything.
Yeah, but we know that he might.
I think this is the first episode he mentioned his mother died.
Yeah. Well, he's trying.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the first episode where his mother died, where he mentioned it, and he talked about how because he's getting to know this girl, and I guess that's what I more liked about it. It's a very subtle episode where Indiana Jones is just getting to know this girl. He discovers that this girl knows different languages, and I could see this girl, being a part of Indiana Jones's life if the circumstances were different. Because this is...
I'm going to ask you a question, kind of a spoiler. Does she ever show up in the series again?
Yes and no. I mean, she shows up again where with the actor who played old Indiana Jones when he was in his early 90s. She shows up again, but that was in order to connect. So yes and no. Not in this cut of the movie series, but in the original TV cut, she did come back, but not overall in the series.
So is that old Indiana Jones part canon? Like, did he end up with her?
No. It was just more they met and she moved on with her life and everything. But they met again. They met again and recognized each other right away. And obviously, Indiana Jones got a kiss from her again. So. Because it was probably, honestly, both of these people, it was probably both their first love, so. Because we get to see Indiana Jones actually fall in love in this episode, his first love, versus the previous girl in this episode and Princess Sophie.
Yeah, I felt like this was true love and not just puppy love at first and then whatever. It was the beginning of this episode.
Yes.
And then the ending when he got on the when he wasn't gonna get on the train, I'm like, get on the train. We need to get to the war.
Yeah, well, I did think it was funny that Remy. This just kind of proves what a character he is. He only knew this girl for what, maybe 2 weeks at most, and then he marries her. Because she was a widow, and he needed to support her kids, I guess, but then he goes off to war. So, but
I don't know if it's my memory, but I don't remember seeing Reddy in the second part of the episode, like with the other girl.
Remy, remember he kind of sit there and told Indy, she's a widow, and then Indy's like, what are you doing? He sits there. She wants to go see me in the hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, like I said, my memory's not that good, and I was trying to remember because, I don't remember seeing him when Indiana Jones got on the train.
Yeah. people excuse my very bad Belgian accent. So I am.
And plus, remember, I'm watching this on YouTube, so like the episodes are combined, so I don't know when one ends and one begins.
Yeah, that is my one complaint, that the movie cuts need a better transition period.
So I'm like, I don't know where the second part of the episode begins, because I'm like, is Ready the second part of the episode?
Yeah,
So I was thinking, because I don't know where the first part ends and the second part begins.
Yeah, this is just, I thought this was a really a lot of fun, and, kind of, yeah, I don't really know what else to really say about this one, because we're just kind of both repeating.
The first part of this episode was, the second part was, Finding Me.
Yeah, Indiana Jones gets to meet Winston Churchill in this episode. And I'm sure we all know who Winston Churchill is, right?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, man.
At least I might remember if you, tell me his story, because, like I said, I'm not good with names.
Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister of... He's mainly known for more World War II, you could say, but he was involved in politics and everything, and he was kind of like... the best way I can describe him is he was kind of like the Donald Trump of World War II, because he kind of said very brash things that were like, oof, could you just say that? But he, if you want to know who Winston Churchill is, I highly recommend the movie Darkest Hour. Gary Oldman plays Winston Churchill, and he does an amazing job. He actually won an Academy Award for it. And it's a great movie. But Winston Churchill, one of the things he said to a girl, now he was drunk one night, and she said to him, "Mr. Churchill, you're drunk." And he replies, "Yes, I am. And you're ugly. When I get up in the morning, I'll just have a bloody hangover. And you'll still be ugly when you get up in the morning." He was a very great politician, great speaker.
He told people how it was.
Yes, and that's the best person I could describe it to. He was the Donald Trump of the 1940s, and yeah.
Now, some people do think Donald Trump is the worst person in the world when he's not, because I'm pretty sure there's another man. I know.
Stalin, Lenin.
Yeah, there are way more, these people who say Donald Trump is the worst person ever. He's not the best person, but he's not the worst person.
Caligula.
There are people, way worse.
Yes, don't really want to get into that level of politics. I'll say what my political beliefs are, but we're not going to get into that politics, because, that
politics channel.
Yes, that will definitely, and folks, we're just talking. We're kind of making. I'll say this. I like Trump, but I'm not going to talk about him. And please don't unsubscribe for that. Dev and I are just kind of having fun and joking a little bit.
Don't hate us because of our political views. Just remember, if you're left or right, I don't care, because I'm neither. I don't give a shit. Sorry for the cussing, but that is literally people. When we talk about this, I tell them I don't.
I'm in the middle. I think that you
agree with some of the stuff on the right, some of the stuff on the left. You agree with bits and pieces of both.
And
now I can easily say both sides have their people who are overdoing it, both left and right.
Yeah, Anyway, let's but yes, overall this was just a very good episode. The next episode, I believe it's
we finally get to the war.
Yeah, and it captures okay, let me just clarify for you guys what the next episode is, because I think it's this one, but I'm horrible with these the later titles sometimes, so forgive me, folks. Yes, it is. I think it. Yes, it is this one. The next episode is they pretty much established what it is. It's called Trenches of Hell.
Yeah, I can't. I want to see it. Like you say, it's the best you've seen of like one interpretation. I want to see it. Okay, so going off topic here, I did find out something interesting today. I don't know if you've heard of it, but if anybody remembers the musical Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, so I saw that when I was little. I didn't see the original version. I saw 2.0 or whatever it was called.
Nice.
But like I found that out today because I was looking through like some old stuff and I saw myself in my Spider-Man costume. I asked where like I was talking to my mom about Spider-Man stuff and we were talking about the movies and she told me that I went to see a musical about Spider-Man on Broadway.
That's cool.
So I looked it up to see if it was real or if my mom was just like getting delusional or something because I didn't believe it. And then I found out it was real, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I went to a Broadway show. I went to see Slava's Snow Show, which is a very unique show. Slava, I guess, is a Russian clown. I've really never paid much attention to him, but he not a clown as in Joker or Pennywise. I mean, he's a like a comedic clown.
They're gonna kill you.
In Russia, and it was a fun show. I mean, it was kind of kiddie, but I actually know I have a fan. Okay, she's not. What do you? I don't know what you call this. She's a cousin by marriage. She's my my aunt who is my real aunt. You know she was my real aunt. This was her husband's niece, so cousin by marriage. I not really related, but related. She.
I would have to say like step cousin maybe.
No, I wouldn't even say step cousin because that implies that a cousin in law. I don't know what you really call that. I mean, because I still classify that as family, even though that we're not blood related. We're related by marriage. So. Yeah. Anyway, she is actually, I believe, if I remember hearing correctly, I believe she's actually an understudy on Broadway right now. So, so yes, and she's actually a very talented actress. I mean, personally, if I become a director, I mean, I would actually just say, even though she doesn't, I think she's just a Broadway actress. I don't think she has an agent, She just goes in auditions and stuff. So I'd sit there and say, I want her, because she's...
Yeah, I'd have to ask my mom, but the only Broadway musical I have seen is Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, and that's because my mom knew I was like a big Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, I heard so many stories about that. How it...
Apparently it was horrible, and people really didn't like it, but apparently, well, I was a little kid, of course, and I was like, it's Spider-Man, yeah!
Well, I heard so many stories about that, how, like, the webbing didn't work, the green... Of course,
I don't remember it at all.
The Green Goblin, actually fell off his,
I did watch clips from the show, and apparently he didn't actually have a glider with wings.
No, there was one where we had a glider.
That was Marvel Live, actually. Marvel Live, that's a Disney thing.
Oh.
That's where he had the glider, I think. Not for sure. Because I remember I was watching clips to see if Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark was real, and Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, he has wings. Or maybe that was...
it's not as bad as Superman on Broadway. Superman on Broadway, one of the wires snapped, and Superman up and down. Luckily, the actor, we don't have actors like this anymore. The actor actually broke his leg and got up after a broken leg after he fell pretty far down. We should be thankful that he had just had a broken leg. Got up and continued the show. We don't have. Yeah, I mean exactly. Like we don't have actors like that. The only one we have is like that is Tom Cruise. Who broke his ankle on the set of Mission Impossible and continued working.
On Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, I was watching a video on it because, remember, I told you how I was trying to see if it was real or not. Apparently, a guy, one time they didn't have the web attached, and there was, a stunt double of Spider-Man, and he fell, and he broke his ribs and his skull. He lived.
Oh. I've never broken my ribs, but I have heard how that is one of the worst pain ever to break your ribs.
That's because it's close to your ribs, and Imagine the worst way to probably die is breaking your ribs and having your ribs stab you in the lungs to death.
Yes, boy, could you crossbow too.
Sorry, I have a sadistic mind. I watched a lot of horror movies. At least I got a little bit of Spider-Man in there, so I guess there is some wholesome stuff in it.
Yeah, but yes, I did. Yes. So I mean, I love Broadway, so. And I love Broadway, and I am a straight man. Because there's this stigma that if you like Broadway, you're gay. So.
As far as I know, I'd have to ask if I've seen others, but as far as I know, Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark was the only one. So technically, I have seen everything of Spider-Man in theater form.
The Spider-Man cartoon from the 60s. You saw that in the theaters?
I didn't mean like that. I meant okay, you mean, okay. So
I get it.
Movies in it, of course, I'm never gonna see the 60s. I mean, unless I buy a theater, which my cousin used to have a theater. He used to own one. Now, I have two cousins, and they live way better lives than me, and I kind of hate it.
Yeah.
Because one is he's really good. He helped me edit some of my videos when he was here, and the other one is older. He's in his 30s, I think.
Yeah. Well.
Seen him in a lot, but apparently he I think he either worked or owned the theater. I don't remember.
Well, yeah, I mean, so that's cool. You got to see everything that was Spider-Man in the theater or on stage.
Yeah. Except for, of course, the cartoons, because I'd have to go into a theater and be like, okay, so here's these episodes of the entire series of 70s Spider-Man, 60s Spider-Man, all these Spider-Man TV shows.
Wait! You did not get to see everything in the theaters that was made for Spider-Man. There was a movie in the 70s.
Was it the Japanese one?
Yes.
Yeah, of course I didn't see that one because I wasn't alive.
Exactly.
But hey, it wasn't official Spider-Man. It was Japanese Spider-Man who had a giant robot who inspired the Power Rangers. Yeah. Japanese Spider-Man and inspired the Power Rangers.
Actually, the 70s TV show with, what was it, Nicholas Hammond? Something like that. They made they combined 2 episodes and made it into a movie and released some of it in theaters. It's like Spider-Man and the Curse of the Dragon or something like that.
I remember that version of the Japanese Spider-Man. I think I'm not for sure. I'm pretty sure he had a samurai Green Goblin. It's a Green Samurai now.
Which honestly, I always liked that for Green Goblin. I just thought that maybe that's not in the comics, but it was cool,
Well, he might not have been with Green Goblin, but I do remember seeing Green Samurai, which I recall.
Anyway, folks, since we're kind of just rambling on right now and kind of not talking about Indiana Jones anymore. Sorry to cut you off, Devin, but I think that we're gonna just end this episode. But if you like what you hear, please like, comment, subscribe, share these videos. I hope that for your guys' sake, your quarantine ends.
Yes.
For
Let
us,
this end. Let me go outside and be free.
for us, I know that some of the restaurants are opening, and that I'm just happy that I don't really drink at the local bar, but I know that the local bar is actually going to be opening again, which is going to be nice to actually sit down instead of walking over to the bar and then walking back, and that's just going to be nice to sit in a booth and have a good cheeseburger at the bar again. I hope that you guys can have this great time, and hopefully find ways to do something again and not worry about
getting the cough.
Yes, and if you're really that concerned about it, people, and your kid's getting it, I'd probably just say go to the store before you go to the parks or wherever, and just buy disinfectant and disinfect it for it.
Spray everything.
Just spray everything down before you go. Be a germaphobe if you really need to be, okay?
Yes, spray everything and everyone you come across.
Yes, and
random guy in the street, take that spray
and pay attention to Shanghai Disney right now, because the Disney parks are opening. I believe May 12th.
I think this was the only time the Disney parks were empty. I wish I could have seen it.
Yes, so stay tuned for what happens with that.
I heard some Disney employees took pictures of the park empty.
Yeah, I'm not exactly going. Now, I'm not gonna probably go to Disney World until they say that we are not required to wear the masks at Disney, because I do not. I don't believe in wearing the masks, because I think that doctors and nurses need them more than anybody right now. That is my opinion about wearing the masks.
I think you have more chance to get the cough if you go to Disneyland or World, because how many people are gonna be there?
Yeah, they are gonna
spray in the world to spray them all.
Well, they are gonna limit the capacity of people, but I'm like, you're gonna hear about people sneaking in.
Gotta spray them all. Gotta spray them all.
Yeah.
Cough.
All right. Well, so I'm Ty.
And I'm giving her the master of fear.
And so, just do all the good stuff with this video, and give me 103 more subscribers, and stay tuned for Devin's channel on his Q&A.
Yes, ask me the questions.
Exactly. So, we will see you later. Goodbye for now.
See ya.